Live from Smitty1.com studios, it's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern. Take a lap.
You are watching the Fantasy Football Show, and that's right, baby. It's mock draft time. It's time to dig into some 2022 mock drafts. Maybe, just maybe, we might do a super flex. Maybe we'll do a dynasty. I think we'll do a dynasty. We'll do a redraft first and then a dynasty. So you're all going to jump into this redraft mock first. And let me pull up the stream so I can drop in the link. How's everybody doing tonight? First in the building was Sandu. I'm sorry if I'm not saying that right, Sandu. Tanner, then Ninja, then Austin B, then Savage, so Navage. What's up, Navage? I'm trying to say your name right. Sebastian, 49er fan. What's going on, pals? Okay, so let me copy this link. I'm going to drop it in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Link has been dropped. Let me save said link. I'm going to pin it, and you guys can jump in to the mock draft. Let's roll. Okay, so Steven, what's going on, pal? Jump in, grab a spot, grab a seat at the table. Don't worry, we'll do more than one. You guys don't need to freak out and be like, oh my god, I didn't get in. We'll do tons of them. Well, not tons of them. We'll do 2 or 3 of them, okay? At least 2 or 3 of them. We tried to do one of these the other day. It was late at night, but we had trouble filling it for the very, very first time. It was crazy. Even this is long. We got 2 spots. We got 1 spot left. Normally it's 12 seconds and they all fill up. 1 open spot. Come on, grab it. Who's getting the 12? How many people we got in here? Who's grabbing the 12 spot? This is unusual that we actually have a moment of pause. There we go. 12 spot has been grabbed. Let's commence. Okay, number 1. Who's going number 1, pal? Jonathan Taylor. Let's see if we can squeeze out a little bit more real estate here because you can't really see JT's name. I guess I got to do that. That's fine. I'll just scroll over. JT goes 1. Najee Harris goes 2 overall. Who's going 3rd? Who is going 3rd? Is it going to be Austin Eckler? Will it be Derrick Henry? Will it be a wide receiver? It goes Eckler, then it goes Henry at 1.4. Pretty par for the course. I think this is going to be a rather common top 4 if you're mock drafting anytime soon. What's up, Steven? What's up, Pac-Man? Pac-Man, appreciate you being here, good buddy. I'm on the clock. I'm going to change this timer real quick to 30 seconds. I apologize for doing that mid-draft, but we definitely don't need to wait that long. You cannot change the settings this late? Oh my god. That sucks. Okay, so wide receiver for me. I'm going to go with Cooper Kupp here. It's redraft, so. Man, can we not change? I can't believe we can't change the draft settings mid-draft. Oh, pause draft. That's right. I forgot. I have to pause the draft settings. There we go. Man, it's been so long. We haven't done mocks as frequently, so I've kind of forgot. Okay, I'm gonna restart the draft. Resume draft. Sorry about that, Prime. I didn't mean to pause that on you, pal. Raul says Devontae Adams. No Adams. What do you mean no Adams? Adams isn't the consensus top 3, bro. Prime is on the clock. Yeah, until we know that A-Rod's for sure returning to Green Bay, you can't draft Adams over the top 3 guys. I mean, you could. I'm not against it, Raul, but it's definitely I've never seen someone question it because it's not Adams is not going in the top 3. The ADP is nowhere near that. He's 4, 5, or 6. But not to say you're wrong, Raul, it seems like you're shocked, but really Adams going 1 or 2 is actually the thing people would question. Not that you'd be wrong, it's just that there's no way, no one's taking Adams right now. No one knows what's going on. What if Jordan Love's throwing him the football? He's not a top 5 wide receiver if Jordan Love's throwing the football to him. You won't see him. What's up, Mike? What's up, Kyle? Cup over Jefferson? I mean, I could go either way. Joel says Christian McCaffrey, running back 1. That's kind of the common joke around here because of the people that have come and go. Christian McCaffrey, running back 1, and then they vanish when he gets hurt. But again, Raul, not that you're crazy for but look, Adams hasn't even gone yet, bro. Like, people are a little worried about him, and for very, very good reason. Let me see if I can squeeze this in. Can't seem to get it to fit perfectly, but whatever. I'd rather see the front end of the draft than the tail end. I don't need to see Diggs and Mixon's face. We'll deal with it. So Diggs and Mixon stack is pretty secure, pretty solid. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that, broski. Swift and Hill, pretty darn solid. Kamara and Chubb, not bad, although I wouldn't touch Kamara with a 10-foot pole in the first round, bro. I mean, I don't know if the people that take Kamara in the first round, I'd love to know what you're thinking. Because if this guy misses half of the season, I think minimum. I mean, anything can happen, but the video footage is not looking good for the broski. It's not looking good. Tan is going to time out. Tan man. Chase, number 1 wide receiver. I go back and forth. You know, I think Jefferson, Jamar, Chase, and Cooper Kupp, all 3 of them. Darn good arguments can be made for all 3 of them. Gosh, I wasn't prepared. See, Adams is still here, bro. Yeah, we got to go Adams here. Kupp and Adams. Look, it thinks Adams is too high. Or is it saying that was a steal? I don't know what it's saying. I don't know. Kupp and Adams would be pretty fire. But again, this is moderately normal value for Adams if Love's throwing him the football. You know? Or Carr. If Carr's throwing him the football, it's no better than, I mean, a little bit better than Love, but everyone's got these high expectations for Carr. I don't understand. I do not understand the love for Carr. Whoa, broskies. I do not understand the love for Carr. I just don't get it. Okay. It is tough to rank some of these running backs, I'm not going to lie. And the position I put myself in going wide receiver, which I fully support if the values are there and you're not feeling really good about the running back calls that you got to make. I'm not forcing running back. I'm just not. But I'm going to go ahead and queue up some people. Let's go. Let's go. Cam Akers, Deontay Johnson's really high, but I mean, I don't know if I would take the gamble on Deontay and Deontay and Akers on the same squad, but do you, bro? If you love both of them, do you? Najee, Harrison, Lamb, and who you pairing? Navage, who you pairing with Lamb and Najee Harris, man? Josh Allen, I don't mind that. That's a great trio, bro. I think you're the best team so far. Best team so far, bro. D-Hop too early, or am I? I mean, D-Hop, you can't take D-Hop yet. He busted, bro. But it's not like he can't bounce back. D-Hop, you're going to see D-Hop. Oh, yeah, D-Hop did get taken at 2.9. You're right. It is early. Way too early. He's got sleeper value written all over him. And I don't care if he's a big-name player. I love when people tell me that I can't call a guy a sleeper. Someone's gonna tell me I own Sleeper University, bro. SleeperU.com. I get to define sleeper however the hell I want. And oh boy. What do I do here? I'm going triple wides. Let's see if I can do this. Let's see if I can pull this off. I love those wide receivers, though. You got to be out of your minds. Let those guys fall. But at the same time, will I recover? I don't know. We will see. I still can't believe Raj said D-Hop is washed. I get what you're saying, Ro. No way he's washed. And will he have trouble staying healthy? Potentially. And that's where I think Raj could have said it that way. And we found out tonight that Hopkins blocked Raj on Instagram. And he admitted that might be a little bit why he's salty. It might be a little bit why he's salty. Kyle says Waddle, great pick. Yeah, I'm afraid I'm going to ramp his ADP up too high, though. I know that's happening. I'm sorry, guys. I know a lot of you are like, don't, why are you doing this, Smitty? Why are you going to ruin Waddle's ADP? Because we move ADP. It sounds arrogant to anybody new watching the stream. They might think, how arrogant is this guy? He thinks he's really going to single-handedly move ADP data? We do. We do. Ask anybody in here. If you're new, ask anybody in here. We move guys like sometimes four or five draft slots on ADP data. We are responsible. Our show is responsible for driving a guy 4 or 5 spots up or down on overall ADP data. That's how we roll. Here, we mock draft so much, and then we continue to mock draft off the live stream because you can go to smitty1.com right here and join the Discord, and we're mock drafting all the time. 43 in here, 21 likes. Terry's not happy. Please hit the thumbs up. Double A. Appreciate you being late to the party. Anytime we get you, pal, we're excited. No way you took Waddle. I don't know how to take that comment, bro. I don't know how to take that comment. Waddle's a great pick. No way you took Waddle. Laughing emojis. I don't know which side of the debate you're on, Raul, but we love us some Waddle around this mug. Yeah, we did move Lamb. How many mock drafts are you going to do? At least 2. I said we might do 3, but maybe we'll do 2. It depends on how quickly we roll through them. I mean, we're already 15 minutes in. We'll see, bro. Decode. I don't know what you're saying, Hazelnut. Dried Ocean, what's up, pal? How many more mocks? 2 or 1, at least 1 more. We'll do at least 2. What's up, Smitty? What's up, chat? What's up, Kenny? Kenny Powers in the house. Everybody. Is that show still going, Kenny? Is Kenny Powers still going? That's a dope show. Andrews sliding that far is kind of nuts. I don't know. I don't know if it's that crazy, Johnny. I mean, I think the late 3rd round, so he slid a little bit. Oh, this is pretty good. I could get Aaron Jones here if I wanted to. I just feel like even if A-Rod does return, if I bank on that, if I play that card here, you still have Dylan. You still have Aaron Jones, still disappointing. I'm going to go with the bigger upside pick in Kenneth Walker, who I think could arguably be come August 1 or August 15 or I don't know, somewhere around that area. We could be looking at Kenneth Walker at the turn pick at the 2nd and 3rd round turn pick. So like 25, 26, 27. So to get him as my number 1 running back in the mid 4th round, a little bit past the mid 4th round, I love it. I love the value. I'm pretty excited about this squad that I've built here using a psychotic and almost self-sabotaging wide receiver. Does anybody disagree that this team is looking pretty solid? I won't take offense if it's not your style. Some people really like the running back balance, and I'm okay with that. I don't think you're wrong. I just think this is a pretty darn good looking team so far, considering the approach. Todd, what's up, Todd? Appreciate you being here. Pitts, Yeah, Pitts. Agreed, Mondo. I like Jalen, like some stuff I see, but I don't know. It's still iffy. Hope with McDaniel he can have a breakout year. Yeah, I mean, he's not a guarantee, bro. We know that. We know what time it is here on the channel. So we got Najee Harris, Lamb, and Allen to Navage, who I have to say that's probably my favorite team so far. That's not mine. Evans was a darn good ad. What team is Walker projected to be drafted to? We have no projection for that, pal. How do I feel about AJ Brown? Says Lang. I like AJ Brown. I just feel like it's scary to draft him in the mid-second round, which is where I sometimes find myself taking him because I don't like the other options and I don't want to force running back in the second round. I'm typically going wide receiver. Not that I'm targeting wide receiver, but wide receiver is traditionally 80% of the time the best player available in round 2, unless you're going with like DeAndre Swift, unless you're finding Nick Chubb at the end of it. I'm not going Akers, not going near Akers. Just take a look at all the running backs that are in rounds 2 and 3 here. So Gibson, Chubb, and Swift. And Mixon's not going to fall. Swift, Chubb may fall to the end of the second round on occasion. Gibson, that's it. Those are like 3 running backs that I would maybe draft in the second round, assuming Mixon's gone. Chubb, Swift, Cook normally won't fall. Hawkinson going to Seaglass. Man, I can't believe Aaron Jones fell. I mean, he's risky. I'm not like saying he's an amazing pick here, but like that's a pretty good team considering I didn't draft a running back until 4.7 and 5.6, and I have Kupp, Adams, and Waddle. That's pretty dope. I'm loving that squad. Does anybody disagree? I don't mind if you do, but please speak up. Kenneth Walker, Aaron Jones, not good enough in your opinion, considering you got to consider the wide receivers. You can't just say I want stronger running backs. You can't have your cake and eat it too. Who likes the wide receivers so much that they're willing to take a stab at Walker and Aaron Jones as their running back 1 and 2? You could argue that Aaron Jones is my running back 1 and Walker's my 2 as well. I think if I would have waited and taken Jones at 4.7, no way Walker would have fallen, in my opinion. Etienne's also another good replacement at that 5.6 spot if for any reason Etienne's available and Aaron Jones is gone. Etienne's a great 5.6. Breece Hall's a good 5.6. He went at 4.10 though. Do you have faith in Dobbins? No, I don't have faith in Dobbins for a number of reasons. I'd say number one. Why isn't this working? Dobbins. I don't have faith in Dobbins for a number of reasons. Let me put Dobbins on the screen and talk about Dobbins real quick because I think it's an important topic. Why is my screen just completely freezing? Dobbins, what is going on here? What's with the colors? Hold on. Whatever, I don't care. We'll leave the color. Dobbins, we'll review the teams in a second, but J.K. Dobbins, be very careful of J.K. Dobbins. Let's talk about it from a redraft perspective first. Redraft, guy's coming back from an ACL tear. And it's not like he tore it like super early on in the offseason. He tore it right at the onset of the year. And these things take over a full year to get right. Look at Saquon Barkley, kind of tearing it around the same time frame, same schedule of rehab for Dobbins that Barkley just underwent. And JK's not going to be ready. You know, he'll maybe play week 1, but will he be fully ready? I don't think so. The only problem with JK is he even if you were to say, okay, he's going to struggle a little bit, but start getting his feet under him as the season moves along, he's not in a spot where this team's going to be, you know, pot committed to him, because A, they always rotate running backs. B, he won't be ready enough to get the full workload, so that means window will be open for another running back to garner touches and then kind of keep them if they're productive, to where Dobbins isn't going to shake them free and shake that player loose and then get the full workload. They do a lot of rotating. They just do. They do a lot of rotating. So, number one, he's not healthy enough. He won't be healthy enough to be the number one back. He won't be healthy enough to produce where he's capable of producing out at that level. Number three, he plays in an offense where the touchdowns are vultured by Lamar Jackson, on top of the running back by committee, on top of the fact that they may not even feel he's the long-term answer anymore. And who knows, they could draft another cheap running back in round 4. I know people say they wouldn't draft a running back, but they might. Every running back got hurt. So they might draft a young running back that has a ton of upside, that is very cheap in the 3rd or 4th round because running backs fall. And then what? You know, so I feel like it's a disaster waiting to happen. I'm staying totally clear of it. I love the kid, but I love the kid. I love the memory of the kid. I love what the kid could have become if he didn't get hurt. And I think a lot of people gravitate toward that, and they think, oh, you know, JK's so talented. Well, he is, but he's coming back from an ACL tear on a team that's not friendly to one running back, and it vultures all the rushing touchdowns. So I'm staying clear, given the cost. If he fell really far, it'd be a different story. But in the mock draft, if you look at the mock draft that we just performed, where did JK go? JK Dobbins went, where'd he go? Oh, 4.8. That's way too early to me. Way too early. I'd rather have Breece Hall at 4.10. I'd much rather have Etienne at 5.2. I'd much rather have Aaron Jones at 5.6. JK would be a sneaky good, like, 6th rounder. Like, if he fell to round 6, I'd like it. I'd be kind of back on board. It's that line in the sand where a player goes from avoid, and flips to a good value. His line in the sand, J.K. Dobbins, is not in round 4 or 5. Now, I don't blame anyone for wanting to take the risk that this kid recovers quicker than normal. Barkley had to have had some kind of setback, so don't think that you can't look pretty decent your first year back on occasion. You know, no one's going to be Adrian Peterson coming back from the ACL tear. That's going to be an anomaly that we never see repeated, probably, to that degree. Barkley was a different case. Barkley is kind of injury prone, but is J.K. Dobbins not injury prone? I'm staying clear. And everything I just said in redraft, multiply it by 2 in Dynasty, because you have the potential, like any setback he has, and the Ravens are starting to plan even further for the future, or start thinking even more so. We can't trust JK. This is the 2nd year in a row. So he has to have a phenomenal year in 2022 to stave off any potential plans the Ravens might have to bring in yet another running back. And I think that if another young running back lands in Baltimore, J.K. Dobbins, instantly his dynasty value just tanks to the point where you can't even trade him or get good value for him. So that's my advice. I would stay clear of J.K. Dobbins at his current asking price, which appears to be round 4, way too early, especially considering the players that are available. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Etienne's injury, less of a concern than an ACL tear. Okay, so Etienne, I worry about him, but I'm still excited about him. Very excited about Etienne. Problem with Etienne is, and man, we got to flip back and discuss this now. Let's put Etienne on the board here. I'm doing this so we can, you know, cut this up and also help people on replays to know what we're talking about when they're skipping through if they don't want to watch the end of the mock draft and they're like going to the middle of the video. Etienne, very, very excited about Etienne. The downside to Etienne is Doug Peterson. He's always a running back by committee guy. Proven in Philly when people said there's no one to compete with Miles Sanders. Stop with the running back by committee stuff, Smitty. But I said Miles Sanders would absolute bust. People are drafting Miles Sanders at the top of round 2. And I said, stay away. Stay completely away. Yet people ignored Doug Peterson's history. He is a running back by committee type of guy, and that's never changing. The one caveat is, look where Etienne just got drafted. Okay, so this is me giving you bad news and good news. Etienne just got drafted at the top of the 5th round. That's not bad. Like, look at the running backs after him on this line here. I took the next running back after that at Aaron Jones at 5.6, which was fantastic value. I think both of those picks are fine. Jacobs, I'm not a huge fan of Jacobs, but that's not horrible value. Mitchell, this is crazy. This is an ADP flaw. So this mock draft data is not updated fully, and Mitchell just kept, he was very, very varied on the rankings. So I guarantee you if the ADP data was updated, Mitchell would not have fallen to 4.2. That's why it's tough to do mock drafts this early, because he's like a top of the 3rd round pick, but nobody saw him probably until the kid grabbed him and stole him away. So that was crazy. But what was I saying? Oh, Etienne. Yeah, Etienne going at 5.2. So when I tell you that Etienne is at risk of running back by committee environment by Doug Peterson, who that's all he does. It's what he does. It's always going to do. There's not a lot of talent yet to catch the football in Jacksonville. There's not a lot of talent yet to run the football. You can be pretty certain they're going to address that in the draft and free agency. They're going to bring somebody in. But Etienne's got a lot of target share that he can still hog up, especially given he's one of the best he's one of the best receivers in the entire draft class from last year. Like, you take away Jamar Chase and Devontae and Waddle, he's like literally the next guy up. That even if you include all the wide receivers, he was the next best pass catcher in the entire draft class. So he can be utilized. I don't want him to convert to a wide receiver. I'm not saying that. I'm not thinking that was the thought process this year, and why it was such a disastrous situation walking into this year with this coach that knew nothing of what he was doing, trying to use Etienne in weird ways in the beginning, bringing in Tim Tebow to block. It was idiotic. It was a wasted year for Trevor Lawrence. It was a shame. But I think he's a talented enough kid. He's going to recover quickly and be back to where he would have been anyway. That's how good Trevor Lawrence could be. Etienne's going to be his favorite target. Etienne's going to pull in a bunch of passes. Think of Etienne as like a potential injury risk. Yes, that's why we can't take him early. 5.2. That's where you take him. You don't take him in the 3rd round. You don't take him in the 4th round, especially early 4th round. There's a line in the sand where Etienne goes from risky to good, solid upside with a very minimal or medium risk. And that's in round 5. You got to take him in round 5. Etienne, even with the threat of a likely and almost certain running back by committee that Doug Peterson's going to enforce in Jacksonville, we're looking at a guy that can pull in so many passes and still get enough runs, even in a running back by committee, given the desire and need that he'll have to scoop up volume there. They'll need him. Trevor Lawrence will lean on him. He could be a steal in the 5th round. I'm really liking Etienne in that 5th round, that range, but it has to be in a place where he can explode from his ADP. And in Dynasty, if I was to say Dynasty, I'd say everything's the same as long as he can escape this year getting hurt and can prove that this was a fluke injury last year, then his Dynasty value to the moon, given the cost of entry. Okay. So we're going to look at these teams real quick, and then we're going to do the next mock draft. We'll probably only get to 2 because I'm long-winded tonight, and we're reviewing the teams, so I apologize that we're not doing 3 or 4. Jonathan Taylor, Deontay Johnson, Akers, Ridley, Pitts. I love the Pitts pick. I love, Pitts fell far. Ridley's okay. I wouldn't say I love that pick. I would say your 3 middle picks are all risk loaded, bro. Ridley, I like Ridley, but not with 2 other risky picks in Akers and Deontay. All 3 could work out, but I think there's a high risk banking on those three guys in the middle. So I think this 1.1 could have been handled a little different, but that's my opinion, bro. Trust your gut. Don't worry about what I say if you think differently. That's just my humble opinion. This team is fire. This team is absolute fire. There's not a pick in here I don't like. Evans, I don't think you could have taken a better player. Let's see here. Yeah, I don't think you could have taken a better player. Yeah, I like it, bro. I mean, Kenneth Walker maybe, but like you needed a wide receiver. You picked Etienne. That's great. And if Etienne wasn't there, you could have grabbed Aaron Jones. Fantastic job. This is team number 1 so far. Eckler, Keenan Allen, Waller, Breece Hall, Aaron Rodgers. Not bad. I wouldn't say top 5, but it's still really good. Seaglass has Henry, Hopkins, Herbert, Elliott, Hawkinson. Very sneaky team. Kind of all depends on Hopkins and Henry staying healthy. And then you could definitely be top 16, but I wouldn't call it top 3. Jamar Chase, A.J. Brown, Montgomery, J.K., Pittman. I don't like the Pittman pick. I think he could be good and serviceable for sure, but I don't know about 5.5. And I certainly don't like the J.K. Dobbins pick, as I alluded to. But I love the top 3 picks, and I still think you're like a top 6, top 7 team. And then if let's say J.K. works out, then you're in the mix, bro, for top 5. Cooper Kupp, Devontae Adams, Jalen Waddle, Kenneth Walker, the rookie running back, probably projected to be the number 1 rookie running back this year, but Breece Hall could be. It just depends. Aaron Jones, I think it's a top 2 team. I'm not going to lie. I like Navage's team near as much, if not maybe more, but he's got a better draft pick, so naturally this is going to be the better team by default unless you screw it up, which Navage did not do. Harris, Lamb, Allen, Evans, Etienne, love it. But I think this can compete with it. I think they're both fire. Kupp, Adams, Waddle, Walker, Aaron Jones. Probably like Navage's team a little bit better, but again, that draft slot's fire. McCaffrey, Dalvin Cook, Metcalf, Burrow, Goddard, Javonte. And as far as my ranking on this team, very good. Burrow, Metcalf, you can't do better than Burrow and Metcalf from your 4th and 3rd draft slots. And while on paper, this is fantastic. Like, Cook, McCaffrey, like you could literally blow everyone out of the water. I think the likelihood of McCaffrey and Cook both staying healthy and producing top 5 running back numbers is very low because I'm predicting potentially a bust season out of both of them. So that's why I'm not like super amped about the squad, even though on paper it looks like straight fire. Like you're literally breathing fire and spitting it all over everybody and just burning the whole board up. Like it literally has that feel to it. I'm not going to lie. It just depends. Like if McCaffrey and Cook can stay healthy and Cook can keep his off the field problems from bleeding into the season and keeping him off the field, your team's going to be straight fire, bro. Javonte, Kelsey, McLaurin, Higgins, Beckham Jr., which that's tough at 5.8 coming off an ACL tear, bro. I'm not going to lie. Like I don't even know if he'll be ready for week 1. He'd be really pushing it. And with his injury history, if Odell pushes it and tries to get back in week 1 because he's too excited, I think he's going to get hurt again. So I think he's only going to get hurt again if he rushes it. And if he doesn't rush it, then it's like a double-edged sword. You're not going to get the value out of 5.8. So don't go grabbing Odell that high. It's way too high. But I love McLaurin. I like Kelsey. It's a little high for me. But I'm just that kind of drafter. I don't love drafting a tight end early. I like getting Freiermuth or Waller. Typically falls later than this 3.3 pick. He's usually in the 4th or 5th round. Waller is very slept on this year. So other than that, I mean, it's a good team, just not top 3 or 4 because of those things. Jefferson, Debo, Gibson, Barkley, Jacobs, that could turn out to be a top 5 team. Just, needs to stay healthy. Kamara may miss the entire season. Kamara may not play half of a season. We don't really know. He may not miss a game. If he doesn't miss a game, then this team is going to be in the top 5 or 6, but I just don't have faith that Kamara is going to shake this one because the video footage found confirms everything that the victim said happened. The video footage confirms his side of the story. It does not confirm Kamara, so he's in some trouble. We just haven't heard anything for a while, so I think people are thinking, oh, it's going to go away. I don't think it will, but we'll see. Tyreek Hill, Swift, Mahomes, Mitchell, St. Brown. Again, don't expect Mitchell to fall to 4.2. That was in my opinion, I can't speak for everybody in here, but in my opinion, that's because no one saw him. Because the ADP data was so bad, it's not updated. that he's been sitting way super low. We've been slowly pulling him up by drafting him higher and higher, but it can only go so quick. We can only manipulate the data so much because it's incorporating months and months and months in last year where he wasn't drafted high, and there's thousands and thousands of drafts. We can only pull it up so quickly. Debo was in like the 4th round when we started mock drafting. Now Debo's ADP on this pre-rank list on this mock draft software is showing a lot higher. We did that. We helped do that. So this is straight fire. This team would be top 3. You know, and I'm not trying to take away from the Mitchell pick, but you take Mitchell off it and it's still potentially top 5. So fantastic team, top 3 with ease. So far it's this team, my team, and Navage's team as the top 3 teams. And Ben Ballers, Diggs, Mixon, Wilson, Kittle, Mike Thomas. It's not bad. A lot needs to happen, but it's not bad. I think Russell Wilson's way too early, bro. He's not a 3rd rounder. He's barely a 5th rounder. So I think other than that, you hit everything out of the park. But I mean, maybe Michael Thomas is risky too. Okay, so let's roll with another mock draft. I'll grab this spot here. Copy draft link. Here comes the next draft in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pinning said link. Have at it. Go get it. Grab your spot. Let's roll. Media, what's up, pal? Mostert might be back. He could, Hendricks. He could. It'd be smart to bring him back. I don't think the market's going to be there for what he wants. You know, multi-year deal. You know, no one's going to trust him. You think it turns into Trent Richardson? Who do I think turns into Trent Richardson? If Ridley plays, does his ADP... Where's his ADP? I don't know. We're thinking 4th or 5th round, potentially. Media in the 1 spot. You're up, pal. Mixon that high? I mean, Mixon is going in like the 10 to 14. Pretty standard. Where's Najee? Where is my boy Najee? Now, the mock draft software here is not privy to the fact that Najee Harris is a beast. Okay? It doesn't know. It doesn't know any better. Tyreek Hill going 3 is very early, bro. Very early. But you get your guy. You can't trade in this mock. You're trying to prove a point. I get it, but that's the highest I've seen him go all off season, like by a lot. Not even by like 2 or 3. Like literally, I think the highest I've seen Hill go is probably 1.8. So that is extremely high, bro. Swift is super high. Oh, we did say this is Dynasty, didn't we? But, I mean, think of it however you want. Sorry, that was my bad for not clarifying. I suppose think Dynasty if you can, but that's my fault. I should have clarified that. But that's high. I mean, Swift is high at 1.4. But if you're thinking Dynasty, it makes sense. Kyle took Jamar Chase. The kid. We'll do a morph between Dynasty and Redraft. We'll do a morph between Dynasty and Redraft. I did say Dynasty. I did warn everybody, I suppose. So if you weren't listening, and I guess I can't help that. But we'll do like a mix, a morph. It's okay if you went Cooper Kupp. I'll explain it as I look at it. It's okay. I do feel like Swift was extremely high though. In Dynasty, maybe more acceptable, but it still feels really high. Kupp was a little high if it was Dynasty. He's more like a end of the first round in Dynasty potentially. I love Chase. I love Jefferson. Those are great picks. Eckler's still very solid at 1.6. Tyreek Hill is just super high, redraft or Dynasty, especially if it's Dynasty. Especially. Metcalf is really high, bro. Really high. McCaffrey, and if this is a Dynasty or a redraft mix, is extremely high. This mock's pretty whack so far. Probably because we have two different mindsets, because we have redraft and Dynasty. That's my bad. But man, some of these picks are crazy. Metcalf in the first round. Henry and Adams for Terry. He's gonna go He's going to go win now mode. If this is a morph between Dynasty and Redraft, he's going win now mode. Terry's not messing around. Terry says, give me the now money. He wants to win the pot now. I mean, yeah, this is crazy. Like Javonte is falling late. This is crazy, man. AJ Brown, Gibson. You know, since I messed this up, we're going to stop after 3 rounds. I'm just going to let it go. We're going to stop after 3 rounds, and we'll start another one, and I'll be very clear about it. Because this one's kind of whacked anyways. In fact, yeah, we're going to stop after 3 rounds. I was going to say 2, but let me give everybody a little bit. This is a whack draft, kind of. My fault. All right, Juice, what are you doing here, pal? Pitts, in Dynasty, that'd be okay. For anybody watching the replay, it's not everyone's fault. I half the people thought it was redraft, half thought it was Dynasty. So there's a lot of weird colliding of minds here. It's still a little weird, but okay, who do I go here? Man. If it's Dynasty, boom. Wouldn't hesitate on that, because you're talking about over a decade of greatness. Over a decade of monster production. Okay. So we'll stop after this 3rd round. I'll give everybody a chance to get their 3rd player. I don't want anybody to feel like they didn't get a chance to grab at least 3 guys and kind of show their stuff. Tyreek, Cook, and Waller. Najee, Josh Allen, and Waddle for me, which I would absolutely love. I would absolutely love it. You're worried about Najee? I'm not. I mean, he got a lot of work last year, but, bro, he's young. Mitchell, Deontay, Taylor. You should be worried about every running back. And to Mr. TD's point that he wasn't efficient, that's why he's worried about him. Bro, he had one of the worst offensive lines in the league, something that they will remedy to a certain degree this offseason. They just couldn't in time. They took Najee, they took other parts and other pieces, and they tried to coach this line up. It didn't work out very well, but the dude was super, super productive considering the low efficiency and the bad offensive line play, which is surely to be enhanced if they bring in a good quarterback. For example, you bring in a Watson, immediately the line's better just by the signing of Deshaun Watson. It's not fully healed, it's not fully perfect, but it literally is like the offensive line production will be improved by almost 100% from what it is currently, with the addition of a quarterback that's elusive and a quick release and ability to move the football down the field, because it stretches defenses out and then your offensive line's less taxed. So it just depends on this quarterback situation. Do they fill it with a rookie? Do they take Jimmy G? Do they take Wentz? Or do they go after a Watson or a Wilson and make something crazy happen? Okay, so it's a good job, good mock. I'm not going to review anything because it's not a good job or a good mock. What am I saying? I'm just trying to be nice. It's a whacked mock. It was a whacked mock draft. Absolute pitiful. Garbage, to be quite frank. Garbage mock draft. What am I trying to be so positive for? Okay, name of the draft. This is a Dynasty 1 QB PPR mock. Dynasty. Okay, I'm going to take my same spot and I'm going to drop. It is a bad mock, Hendricks. We know that. We know that. It was actually it wasn't a bad mock. It was a horrible mock. Absolute horrible. Travesty. Link has been dropped. We're all trying to grab the same spots. Okay. Is there a way I can make it more clear? This one is a dynasty mock draft. Listen to the words coming out of my mouth. This is a dynasty mock draft. Dynasty. 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 1 QB. Let's roll. Keep it solid. Draft with confidence, but be smart. Don't screw up the mock draft. Jonathan Taylor, let's go. Najee. Let's go. Juice is up. Dynasty, dynasty, dynasty. Jamar Chase. This is looking like a dynasty mock draft. This is what I'm talking about. This is proper. Swift is still early. Goose, did you not hear a word I said, bro? I mean, do you? Be your own man. But that's awfully early, bro. Jefferson, Cooper Kupp. I don't hate that Hendrickson dynasty. It's a little early to go Cooper Kupp. But, man, even if he's got 2 years left, who cares? Play for the now. Play for the now. Luter is up. Luter takes Javonte. Now this is looking like a dynasty mock. Even the Swift pick is kind of in line more. It's fine. It's fine. It's early, but it's still acceptable. Like this is, there's no real bad pick here. Even Hendrick or Juice's, no, who is it? Goose's pick. Even Goose's pick is not horrible. It's dynasty. There's a lot of people that like Swift to an insane degree. Henry, Mr. TD, bro. Akers. You know, I was going to write this one up and do a little article on it. I can't. Akers in the first round, bro. Henry in the first round in a dynasty. Bro, Henry doesn't even have a second round ADP in dynasty. Come on, pal. Mr. TD. Yeah, Swift ain't bad. Swift isn't horrible. It's not a horrible pick. But, I mean, guys, Henry, Akers. I was going to try to do a write-up on this draft. I was going to try. Akers in the first round, you out of your minds? Terry's going with the total youth movement there. Lamb and Allen. Come on, guys, we're supposed to be the best mock drafting crew on the web. This right here is like the Jamaican bobsled team when they first got together in Cool Runnings and they didn't know how to bobsled yet. I feel like we are the Jamaican bobsled team right now. I'm very, very, very scared about our standing in the mock draft community coming out of these two mock drafts, these back-to-back debacle mock drafts. We are the American Bob. I'm sorry. All of you. Sometimes it has to be said. Sometimes coach has to yell at you all. Sometimes I can't be Mr. Nice Coach all the time. These are two debacle mock drafts back to back. How are we supposed to be taken seriously in the mock draft community as a leader, an innovator, an insane, trustworthy mock draft community when we're drafting Akers and Derrick Henry in round 1 in a dynasty mock draft? I don't understand what's happening. That's okay, Mr. TD. I'm not mad at you. I'm a little concerned that we are Cool Runnings. We are the Cool Runnings bobsled team right now on day 1 of practice. On day 1 of practice. Just a little bit concerned. So much so I couldn't even pre-rank. Now I don't know what to do. Goodness gracious, what do I do? I gotta pre-rank some guys. Like, what do you do with Kamara at this point? What do you do with Dalvin Cook at this point? You take him? Do you assume Kamara is going to get his job back even if he misses time? Probably. But I don't know. Do I go Kamara here? Or do I just take the guys I like? You know, I'm taking Waddle enough. I probably would take Waddle here, but maybe in Dynasty I'd take the gamble. I don't know. Third round is kind of that point where you got to make a decision. I like Waddle better. I probably would have taken Waddle, but you know, Akers at that range in Dynasty, assuming he misses, like, let's say half of a season or something like that, you know, you're still going to probably get him back and playing, but we'll see. It's not horrible. I don't feel bad about those picks right there. I mean, Walker could be a stud. I love Najee Harris. I've got 3 running backs. You guys traditionally don't see me go running back. So that's kind of a nice, I think, thing to look at. Something different to see how I approach it. But man, yeah, let's see how we did. Okay, let's see if we turn this mock draft around. So we got A.J. Brown and Metcalf. We got Lamb and Allen. We got Akers and Mitchell. Henry and Hill. Henry was way too early, bro. The Hill pick isn't bad. Eckler and Diggs. Javonte, Mahomes, and Hopkins. Luter, I don't know if I would have taken. I mean, you got a good mix of now and future, so maybe it's not horrible to take Hopkins there. He's not horrible there. You got a good mix, bro. You know, you're going for the bag this year and you want future. It's not a bad move. Jacobs, I don't love the Jacobs pick. Herbert, Adams, Cup, very, very decent. You're going to win a bag this year. But is it dynasty friendly? Or Adams and Cup dynasty friendly? I don't know about that. But you're going to win. You're going for the bag this year. Your top 4 probably so far with Cup, Adams, and Herbert. McCaffrey, Mixon, and Jefferson. The kid was in the same spot I was in. At what point do you just keep passing on McCaffrey and Kamara and Cook? Third round, you kind of got to take them, you know, at least in 1 or 2 drafts, right? Swift, Debo, Gibson, not bad at all. And the kids' team could be top 5 this year if McCaffrey stayed healthy. Now, Terry's throwing me for a loop here because he went super young and kind of high-risk Lamb. Like, Lamb's really early, Terry. Probably way too early in the first round. Too many doubters out there to be snagging him that high. Josh Allen's a little early, too. I know you're just kind of winging it here. And then Waller's like an old dude. So I'm a little thrown for a loop there. I feel like I'm in the twilight zone right now. I feel like I'm in the twilight zone. I feel like up is down and down is left. Oh man. We don't know, Tanner. That's what I've just been explaining. We don't know if Kamara. We don't know what's going on with Kamara. But in the third round, in a mock draft, I'm pretty okay with Kamara in the 3.2 range. I do wonder if he'll ever play again. I do. Then you think about it. You step back a little bit and you say, okay, if no criminal charges get filed, or like he doesn't, not criminal charges get filed, if it remains like a misdemeanor or something, you know, if it's not like a full-on criminal assault and he's on probation or looks at jail time or something like that, and it ends up getting knocked down for whatever reason to a pretty somewhat minor charge, then he's going to miss time, but he will be back in the NFL. If he goes to prison, he's probably never coming back, you know, or if he's like in looking at some serious criminal heat. Oh man, what do I do? I need a wide receiver very badly. I think he's older, but Mike Evans is the best wide receiver on the board. Waller was a hurry pick. Terry, I don't blame you, man, because the 30 seconds can go quick. Like, I felt rushed on my Walker pick. I felt really rushed, and then I felt rushed on Kamara, Terry, and I felt like I should have just went Waddle. I shouldn't have. Honestly, it's because I drafted Waddle 2 straight drafts before that. It made me feel like I had to do something different too. But I would take Waddle over Kamara if I could go back. If I could turn back time, Terry. If I could turn back time. God. Do I even trust Ridley? Oh, God, I hate doing this because he's a crybaby. We want him out of Arizona, but he does score fantasy points. He's the one quarterback that's like top 5 to 7 fantasy-wise, and I even predict him to have a decline year, like a really bad year. I panicked. I had 10 seconds left. I'm from Arizona. I felt a little loyalty to him for a second, but I did a ranking the other day. I admit I was probably a spot or a spot and a half too hard on Kyler. I put him at like 8. He's like in the 6 to 8 range, you know, but he could bounce around in the 6 to 8 range. He's not in my top 5. He's not in my top 5. He can sometimes play at that level, but he's in the 6 to 8 range. I say 8 because he can bounce all over the place. He could be 8 a lot of games. He could be 6, anywhere between 6 and 8. I think ranking him 8 is a little harsh. I felt like I was a little hard on him the other night in a little Instagram mock draft or rankings, but I think this would be a good team. I wouldn't be scared to take this team into a fresh dynasty startup. I would be okay with it. Media's got Taylor, Cook, McLaurin, Kittle, Gaskin. Not bad. It's he's always got Niners. We know that. Jamar Chase, Kyle Pitts, Waddle, J.K. Dobbins, Burks. I don't like the J.K. pick. You know that. I've talked about that already, but that's still a really good. I love your top 3. Goose got Debo, Swift, Gibson, Higgins, DJ Moore. It's not bad. I wouldn't call it top 4, but it's still a very, very competitive team. Justin Jefferson, Mixon, McCaffrey, Deontay's pretty good value at 4.8. We saw Deontay go at 2.12 in one of the other mock drafts. This is like crazy. Everything's so all over the map. Cooper Kupp, Adams, Herbert, Barkley, Spiller. Interesting squad. Barkley could be good value. Maybe not. We don't know. Look at those wide receivers, though. I like it. Hendricks, good job. It's a pretty solid team. Probably top 6. Yep, Terry is the GOAT. He'll punch you in the throat. Javonte, Mahomes, Hopkins, Chubb. Oh, my God. The Hopkins and Chubb pick, that's pretty interesting, bro. I don't know how you got those guys that late. That's crazy. This is a top 4 team, Looter. Probably for the now and the future. Top 14. Especially if you trade like Chubb and Hopkins on the high like during the year. I mean, that's solid, bro. That is solid. Red zone, Eckler, Diggs, Jacobs, Godwin. What the? Coral. What?
Take a look.
Bro. Coral. What is going on, bro? What is going on? Who is Coral? Mike, was that you? Are you a red zone, Mike? I don't know if I'd call it a rush pick. How's he even on the radar? Rush is when you're like, you see a guy and you click it because you're scared. Like, how is Coral even near the button, bro? What's going on? I would say Godwin is not going to be healthy enough this year. I like the Diggs and Eckler pick. This will be okay. I just don't, you said Dak. I mean, okay, we'll substitute Dak in there. Andrews, okay. Hill, okay. Keenan Allen, he's older, but okay. Ridley, I can understand that. Henry is the mistake here. His ADP in Dynasty is in the 3rd round. So definitely make sure, Mr. TD, you take that into account in a new Dynasty startup. But you know what, Mr. TD? That's why we're doing what we're doing tonight. That's why we're here to learn. This Cool Runnings bobsled team may not be ready to roll right now. We're all looking a little rusty. I'm not going to lie. This looks like rust right here. Okay, we need to shake the cobwebs off and get to work because we aren't winning if we're mock drafting. If we're drafting like this mock draft, I'm just telling you, as a whole, we have a lot to work on here. Akers, this is a debacle start. Akers is, even if you like him, you need to take him at the end of the 2nd round at the earliest. You cannot be taking this man in the 1st round. But Mitchell, Kelsey, Burrow, St. Brown, I do have to say, past that Akers debacle, probably couldn't have. I mean, Mitchell's a little early. Could have landed a better set of picks after that. Like Kelsey in the end of the third round. Even in Dynasty, I don't care. Burrow at 4.3, phenomenal. St. Brown, I love it. I mean, I love Kelsey, Burrow, and St. Brown, and Mitchell's pretty darn good. Like, that's it. Who is this? Who is this in the chat? Who is this? Because past the Akers debacle, like if we cover Akers up and pretend that never happened, I like the team. It did get completely ruined by the first pick, but I still like the squad. I think he still did good somehow. Who is that? Lamb, Allen, very early. But, you know, Montgomery ain't bad at 4.2, bro. And 5.11, little early on Dillon, but could work out. Waller still managed to draft a middle-of-the-pack team, though, Terry. Let's see here. I like that mock, except for Akers. His first take Niners, which is media. AJ Brown, Metcalf, Breece Hall, Etienne, Wilson. Garrett Wilson. Yeah. Kyle, it's not bad. I mean, Breece Hall works out. If he's the number one running back, that could be good. I have to say, I'm still proud of you all. Papa Smitty's still proud of all of you. I'm sorry I yelled. I'm sorry I got mad. I'm a little hangry, okay? I'm trying to diet a little bit. I'm running and exercising, and I might be a tad bit hangry as well. I probably took it out on the 1.10 owner. I don't know who that was. Oh, that was that was my namesake. Good God. What'd you say? I'm a Rams fan. That's why. Okay. Well, why don't you tone it down a little bit? Take him at 2.3 so we can make fun of it being early at 2.3, bro. Because it still would be early at 2.3. You know what I'm saying? So take a. I don't know who you would have taken though. Like, I guess like, I mean, you could have got maybe Debo and Akers, or maybe AJ Brown still feels early. In your defense, like, that's a tough spot right there. Like, who do you make a first rounder that was available? Tyreek Hill, I guess. So you could have got Tyreek Hill and Akers, bro, instead of Mitchell and Akers. Okay, thank you, Mike. But I felt like, you know, I did get a little bit hangry, but at the same time, I think as a coach here, I have every right to be a little hard on this mock draft. It was not pretty. It was not pretty, but I appreciate all of you, and we're working on it. I'm here to help you. This is the beginning, right? Okay, so we're going to get fully tuned and trained and ready to go. We're just a little rusty. This is like, you know, we're on a track team, okay? We're a 4x4 track team, relay racers. And we all showed up a little over the mark, if you know what I mean. Had a few too many burgers, and we haven't run in weeks, and we're here trying to do a practice lap, and we're all barely crawling through the event. So, you know, we'll see. We have a lot of work ahead of us. Smitty just wants the best from you. That's right. Avi's got it nailed right here. Smitty wants the best from us. You know, you wouldn't have a good coach sitting in front of you if he wasn't gonna, you know, let a spark underneath you, let a little fire underneath. Not doing another tonight because we're already an hour and 6 minutes in. I wanted to jump on and mock with you. I got to go run and try and work out this hangry attitude I apparently am wearing on my face right now. It's only because I care. It's only because I want the best for all of you. We need to do better. We will do better. We're to start by maybe tomorrow mock drafting. I'll see you all 7 p.m. Eastern on the show Monday through Friday here on the Fantasy Football Show, which you can always find at thefantasyfootballshow.com. Thefantasyfootballshow.com, 7 p.m. Eastern. Let's roll. Appreciate all you. Subscribe if you're new. Like the video on the way out. Terry, how many likes do we have? Are there people who literally went through mock drafts and have yet to hit the like button to help their boy, their coach, Smitty, by hitting the like button? Please hit the like button on your way out. And as always, please comment when the video is over. I try to respond to every single comment you guys drop. So if I forgot to answer a question or didn't see it, drop a question. drop a comment right when the video ends. It'll start off with 0 comments, and I'm there to answer your questions. Let's roll.